Welcome to Ellen Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today I am making a fun soap for my big sister. I made a previous soap for my brother-in-law, her husband, the veterinarian, and he needed a scrubby kind of man hands bar, nitty-gritty scrubby bar. We already did that. Well, today I'm doing a loaf for my sister, and she wanted something feminine, and I want to make a really beautiful soap. She told me some scent notes she liked. One of them was lavender, and I happen to have this French lavender from Marouge, Canada, and let me read the scent notes to you because it's not just lavender. I'm not a huge lavender fan, but when you mix lavender with other scent notes, ooh, it gets good real fast. So let me read you the scent notes here. It says, okay, top notes of lime and orange, middle notes of ivy, violet, lilac, and jasmine, and base notes of musk, amber, and woods. And I think it's that musk, amber, and woods that gets it. This smells fabulous. So this was the scent springboard, and she didn't have a choice of colors. So with that being said, I'm going to take the lavender word and go with purple theme. And I want to do 4 layers of purple going from darkest to lightest. So let's talk about the colors we're going to use. The first layer, the darkest purple, and the first layer is going to be Cheshire Cat from Nurture Soap. And it's beautiful. It almost has a bit of a royal blue kick in the bottom. It's purple, but with more. I love it. So that'll be layer number 1. Layer number 2, the next darkest purple that I have is Purple Galaxy Mica from Wholesale Supplies Plus. That'll be layer number 2. Layer number 3 is going to be from Be Scented. It's called Pretty Purple, and it's got a real pinky note to it, but it's definitely purple, but it's getting lighter. And then for my top layer, I'm going to do, this is one of my favorite purples from Be Scented. It's Lilac Mica. And so all 4, this will be the lightest layer, and that'll be the top. So I want to just go from darkest to lightest purple with texturing in between with this French lavender scent. I just think it's going to be, really good. Now I haven't decided if I want to put lavender buds on top. Sometimes it just calls for it. I'll see. We'll see when we get there. I may leave the top undone. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask my sister what she wants. My sister, the veterinarian. I'm so proud of them. Anyway, if you live in Middle Tennessee and you need a good veterinarian, call my sister and her husband. They're in Leapers Fork and Bellevue Animal Hospital down in Bellevue, Tennessee. That's them. So I'm giving a plug for them. If you got animals that need a good doctor, hit them up. So for the recipe today, because I want this to be super luxurious, and I am loving this formula I came up with, my really luxurious triple butter recipe that uses Cupuacu and Kokum and cocoa butters. Love this recipe. It is so good. So that's the one we're doing today. I'll leave it listed down below, but I've used this recipe in other videos too, so I'll kind of go fast through that portion of it, but I'll be sharing the recipe with you because it's just that good. So that's the recipe. We talked about the colors and the scent. I think that's it. I may add some buttermilk powder or cream powder, something else just to take this right up over the top of luxury because I just want it to be super special. So I've got to get everything pulled together. Let's come back and make some really beautiful French lavender triple butter soap. All right, we are back for soap additives time, and I'll talk about the oils in a second. I just wanted to show I have these frosting combs that my husband cut to size so they fit in the mold perfectly. And I might do these in between the layers depending on how everything's behaving and how I'm feeling, but some of the little bevels on these are so cute. So I might be using these. I've got them off to the side just in case I want to. Let's talk about the oils. This is my luxury triple butter recipe. I've shared it before and it will be down below, sized up. I made this in the little Amazon mold before. So this is a big batch. I'm using my tall triple skinny mold from Workshop Heritage. This has coconut oil, cocoa butter, Cupuacu, and Kokum butters. It has castor oil, almond oil, and olive oil. That's what's going on in here. Again, the measurements are down below. And so I'm going to get this blended up. I do have the fragrance in here already. I'm going to put the dry additives in. We're going to mix it up, and I'm going to split this. I'll take the total weight and split it into 4 equal portions. And I've done that with my lye solution. It's split into 4 equal portions, and I will mix this 1 layer at a time. That way I'm not going to feel rushed in between layers, and I can mix to a nice trace and not have to worry about the last layer getting too thick, yada, yada. That's how I like to approach layers. I like to split my oils and split my my lye and mix them in little mini batches. So that's what I'm doing today. I hope that all made sense. Let's get the dry ingredients in here. I like to blend them in the oils and let them sort of reconstitute and plump up in here. So the first one is buttermilk powder. So this is the kind I'm using. I got this on Amazon. It is fabulous in soap. This is a 2 tablespoon scoop. I'm going to put the whole thing in here. It lends a real creaminess. Buttermilk, like any milk and soap, just, takes that soap and puts that creaminess in it. And I love a milk soap. And buttermilk is, just like a goat milk or a cream. I love it all. Here comes our colloidal oats, and this again is a 2 tablespoon scoop. It's a little heaping, that's okay. And kale and clay. 2 tablespoon scoop, a little heaping, it's all good. Now, I'm going to get this blended up really well and get the oils split off into 4 equal portions, and we'll come back when we start ready to layer up our beautiful French lavender purples and all that. I'm looking forward to this. Let's get it blended. We're back, and here are my oils with all the additives and the fragrance split into 4 equal portions. And then here is my lye solution. This is 1/4 of the lye solution. So let me get 3 of these out of the way, and let's start with our first layer, which is going to be our darkest purple. And I'm going to do a little mica line with my shimmer gold mica from Nurture Soap. This is my favorite gold mica. Just so that the little layers, if I'm going to take the time and do a frosting comb, I really want them to stand out. So we're going to do some mica lines. Okay, we're back with our Cheshire Cat in here. That's my darkest purple color. So I'm going to get the mica blended into my oils here real quick, and then we'll add the lye solution, and we'll just do this layer by layer. And because I'm working in bite-sized pieces, I can blend this up to a nice trace before I pour it, which is really nice. I really love the ease of that. And check out this color. Isn't that fabulous? It is the next day. It's been about 24 hours. I did put a blanket over this and it went through gel phase. I'm hoping. I believe it went through gel phase. And I'm just so tickled with how the top came out. And I did consult with my sister and she did want the botanicals on top. So that's why I went ahead and put the little lavender buds on there. Just so happy with that. Let's get it out of the mold and see how those layers came out on the inside. We're back with Olga and it's time to get into our first loaf. I am loving the colors, the top, pretty much everything, and it smells divine today. So I'm going to put this in my cutter with the botanical side down to try to reduce the drag marks going through the wires, because if you have the botanicals up, a little lavender bud can get hooked on the wire and then cause a drag mark through your soaps. So you can still get a few, but this reduces it. So got it on its side here, lavender side down. And again, I did ask my sister, I said, do you want lavender buds? And she said, yes, please. So that's what we got. Oh, that's cute. Now this is an end piece, so the wiggles are a little muted, but definitely see all 4 layers. And there's the difference in, this to me is pink, fuchsia, but and this is very ballet. That lilac mica is a very sort of blushy ballet color. I'm loving it though, and I'm glad I did a little gold mica line to kind of make them pop a bit. Love that. So let's see as we get in here. So cute. So one of the things that I noticed I was doing when I was bringing the comb through the loaf is I really had it at an angle, and I probably should have tried to keep it straight up and down to get a little more definition. Like this one, I was more straight up and down. If you can see the little pattern a little bit easier than that one. This one, I had it tilted really far, and I should have had it more straight up and down. But I still think it's fabulous. I'm really happy with these. I think my sister is going to be tickled. So let's talk about this fragrance. All right, smells fabulous, behaved beautifully. This was a nice, it wasn't fast, it wasn't slow, it was just a perfect trace time. I mixed it for a little bit, it thickened up beautifully. Just loved the way that this fragrance plays in cold processed soap. So it is a thumbs up for me. And I do have a discount code for Marouge Canada down below. So check them out. If you've never bought fragrances from them before, I really think they're very high quality. And I have been pleased with every single fragrance I've used from them so far. And it's always fun to do colors head to head like this. Now all of these are in the range of purple in the jar, but when you use them, this is very different. You go from like a really blush to a fuchsia. These two are in the purple range, but that's more of an eggplant color. It's just really fun to kind of see them next to each other in soap. And I do want to say, oh, here you go. This is where I must have tipped the little frosting comb up a little, because you can see the pattern a little more defined. But when it comes to using micas, they do have a usage rate, and I am really bad about, I don't measure my micas. I just kind of use my baby spoon and eyeball it. And I'm not endorsing that. So I usually shy on the side of less mica than they call for. I usually don't overdo it. But usually most micas are about 1 teaspoon per pound of oils usage rate. And I just eyeball it. So sometimes my colors aren't going to be as saturated as if I had literally measured it out and done that. So there's a word on that. You know, what you're getting in your final color can be attributed to how much you've actually used of the mica powder. All All right, next loaf, and I'll do the lavender buds facing down. And I just wanted to say, when I'm sprinkling botanicals on soap, I tend to over sprinkle, meaning I put lots and lots on there because I know they're going to get knocked off as I'm cutting the soap. So as I'm cutting the bars right now, I'm losing some. And when I go to do the beveling and stamping, some of them will pop off. So when I over sprinkle, what I usually end up with is the perfect amount of botanicals on there. So that's just kind of how I go about it. So overdo, lose some in translation, and you end up really good. So this triple butter recipe that I shared today and I've done before, let me know if you have done this recipe with the fancy luxurious butters. I am loving it. The lather is just incredible. It feels really good on the skin. So this particular recipe, it's a little pricey because of the butters, you know, but sometimes it's worth it. With the price of olive oil going up too, butters are not that much more anymore. It's kind of shocking. A couple of years ago at Costco, you could get the little 2-pack of the liters of olive oil for $24.99. And then after COVID, like last year, it went up to $49.99. And I was at Costco the other day. It's up to $69.99. So $70 for 2 jugs of olive oil. That is, it's massive. So yeah, my heart goes out to all us soapers because olive oil is kind of a soaping staple. And that's not even the fancy, that's like the cheapest olive oil that Costco has. That's not the, you know, super fancy cold pressed, you know, stuff. So there is that along with the triple butter. So I would call this a very expensive bar of soap. I think it looks kind of expensive, purple, the color of royalty with the gold. And I know there's really good quality ingredients in here. I think the whole thing is just, you know, luxe. So that is where I'm coming from on these. All right, last loaf, but before I do that, I wanted to show you the 2 little flowers I got when I always keep a flower mold off to the side when I'm making soap, especially if I'm doing piping or frosting combs or anything, for the extras, because I don't like to waste anything. And I got these 2 beautiful little flowers out of the extra that came off when I ran the frosting comb through. So there are those little extras, which I love. It's always good to have a little mold off to the side. A word to the wise there. All right, let's get into this last loaf. I'm not expecting to see anything different than we've already seen. I do love layers in soap. I've done layers for years and different designs, and I just think it adds a little something. I love them. And these are just making me happy. I think my sister is going to be delighted with these, and it was fun to make these for her. Oh yeah, and let's not forget that buttermilk powder in here. So that'll just take all those butters and amp it up with the creaminess of the buttermilk powder. You know, I mean, if you've been with me for any amount of time, you know I love extras. I think this bar is extra, and I'm loving it. So I am all about the extras. Well, I do appreciate so much you taking the time to be with me today, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you give the recipe a try. And please let me know if you have given it a try. Definitely want to hear about that. And I appreciate you taking the time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.